Welcome everyone to the OneSport TV podcast. Something we have been trying to cook behind the scenes, and today we thought to make it come to life. I'm joined with the CEO, Hopes and Habits Limited, and I remain Abdulsalam Isah, also known as Halal, the business manager and media operations manager of OneSport TV. Stay with us, don't go anywhere. Coach Kator,
Yeah,
how have you been?
my man.
I'm
fine, man.
I think we met maybe once after the last game. We'll talk about the game in some minutes, so stay tuned and stay with us. But history makes us value the relationship we have. And I remember very, very well, sometime in June during the Chief of Defense basketball championship, Independence Day championship.
Yeah,
We met at National Stadium. You were
Yeah.
doing your thing, I was doing my thing.
yeah,
And then you met my friend Sheriff, and spoke with him about how we could collaborate, and you were just so emphatic on taking Nigerian basketball to the next level. We had no idea what that means. We were just doing our own thing, come live stream and go, But I know you a bit, but just so to get to know you more, and of course, most importantly, the audience, I want you to tell us about yourself, being the CEO, Hopes and Habits Limited, and also being a coach in the basketball industry. Over to you, please.
So basically, Hoops and Habit Limited is it's a company. It's a company I try to create. That could do a lot in the basketball world. Where we could do camps for kids. We could train kids. We could also try to see how we could do media, if need be for media, to make sure that people don't get to miss out things that happen in the basketball world here in Nigeria. So I was trying to make sure that I had a company that could do not just one thing, but we could do a lot. We have school clubs. So I have coaches, going to schools. I have the media. I have kids that I train, for better opportunities. So basically that was just the idea of starting Hoops and Habit, because I had the idea. I played basketball. I became a coach, and then I did media. So if I start mentioning all of that, I was the media officer for Markdown Flyers.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that to me.
And then I became their team manager, and I was also media officer for Boko City Chiefs.
Serious thing.
Markdown Flyers, the team that just won the Nigerian League. Yeah, so exactly. So I had all of that. I did media for the team I used to play for. When I was a player, that's where it started from.
Yeah.
I used to play, for Benue Braves then, and then we didn't have social media presence so much.
Mhm.
So after games, I would go back and try to see how I could, use my phone to try to see how I could, post things up just to make sure that we were seen, stuff like that. So it kind of like became a thing, and then from there, I just picked it up to the other teams that I went to, after playing basketball.
Yeah.
So media has always been around me right from time. My favorite channel was ESPN.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I used to watch ESPN right from when I was a kid.
Wow.
I played basketball, watch ESPN. I watched all the programs on ESPN. So I knew I had all the knowledge on media and every single thing on basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For you, it's a nice story, I know of you working with Boko City Chiefs, Markdown Flyers.
Yeah.
And I'm years of experience. Just within the span of 3-4 months, and we gave the audience something someone even said they've not seen in 8 years, since the time of DSTV and
it's like, it's
and
been like
what's the
12
other
years.
channel?
Kwese
TV, So big shout out to you all for tuning into OneSport every single time. For myself, briefly, I go by the name Halal. Abdulsalam Isah is the real name. Coming from a media background, editor, cinematographer with iMedia TV. And my boss, in person of engineer Jibril Ibrahim, being a basketballer. He used to be a basketballer. I think his brother, Baba Jibril, is the coach of
Kwara
Falcons.
Falcons.
So he was always like, guys, sport is an everyday thing. Leave the office and go out there. if client does not come, let's go for sports. The people are there, they are waiting to see the activities, and trust me, this is where showing up comes in. We just kept showing up at the national stadium. Once upon a time, we bounced out from Velodrome by Super Sports. They walked us out and told us, "Hey guys, get out! You can't stream here." And we didn't give up. Oga was like, "Still go." We showed up again. We're at AMGA, the Africa Military Games Award or something. Yeah. And then we showed up again. We're at the National Stadium for CDS, and that was the beginning of the story with Hopes and Habit and OneSport, and here we are today. So, Kator, to move things, together with you, we did the NBBF Women's League.
Yeah.
From the Savannah conference that happened in Ujah.
Yeah.
Although we're not able to make it to the other Atlantic. But however, we came to the final 8 of the NBBF Women's League. We did that. Zenith sponsored the whole thing. Big shout out to Zenith Bank. And then the fire came up for the NBBF Premier Basketball League, the men's league, final 8. And we're in Port Harcourt. What can you tell us about the Final Four? What were your plans towards the Final Four with OneSport, and how did you see it play out?
The Final Four, the Final
8, sorry.
Oh, okay. So the Final 8, like before I like doing anything, I have to kind of like picture, the whole scenario. First of all, the first thing was I had the previous year, 2024, I didn't do media basketball so much. I just stayed out. I didn't really want to come around basketball media. So I would be at home and hoping that somebody would televise what I want to watch. I know what people are supposed to watch because I watch ESPN a lot. Mm-hmm. So having that kind of thing, and then having to see that, okay, I wasn't having the opportunity to, watch basketball at home. The league is happening, a tournament is happening. So when the Final 8 was coming, I knew that, okay, I already had a team, that was capable of doing a lot. I had you committed. We had Danjuma. I had Mr. Jubri, Engineer Jubri, who was already a visionary and who also saw the vision. So by the time I had everybody that was ready to, do it, so we're like, okay. So I already knew what people at home needed and every single thing. So it was easy to draw the script, and I had it in my head that, okay, this is how people are supposed to see. People have always needed to see the scores. They needed to hear if a player holds the ball. They want to know the player. And then most importantly, right, they wanted to see the people playing the game. So when we were doing media with Markdown Flyers, Brooklyn City Chiefs, when I discovered an app, not me, somebody discovered an app and shared the idea with me that, we started showing basketball. We could fix the camera like a distance, and people would just be tiny in the screen. Yeah. So by the time I had met met Engineer Danjuma and everybody, I was like, whoa, this is what the basketball people needed.
Yeah.
So which was this. So I do this perspective thing where I'm like, okay, I'm a mom sitting at home, or I'm a brother sitting at home, and then I'm watching TV, and then one of my son. Right, I'm a mom. He's playing basketball, and I need to see him. So the camera being closer to the action, right? We make a mom. She's like, okay, that's my son.
Yeah.
So instead of just watching and imagining, okay, is that my son? Is that my son? So that was the whole thing. So we had all those ideas, and then I was like, okay, so let's go. So that was why, when we were trying to draw the script, it was like, okay, we're gonna have cameras roving around. We're gonna have side cameras to make sure that we see the players close.
Yeah.
And then trying to see. I had somebody who was working on the commentary, but he got a scholarship. He had a scholarship to go to
Nathan.
He had a scholarship to go to Canada. So, and then just about a month to the Final 8, I had called Habib and we started doing practice.
Yeah.
So I was like, Habib, maybe you're going to be the one to do the commentary. So Habib said, okay. So Habib started learning. We will go to just where they're playing games, and Habib is sitting down and he's just, trying to call the action. They call it play call.
Yeah.
Play call, So that was how it was. So because we wanted to add good professional commentary, at least, to what we were doing.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I tried to make sure that we checked all the boxes. we needed to report the basketball, because when I was writing every single thing, trying to talk to engineer, trying to talk to the MBBF, we're trying to talk
The River Hoopers.
to River Hoopers.
Yeah.
You know, I told them that what we were going to bring was going to be different. It's going to be, we're going to have pictures, we're going to have graphics. You understand? We're going to have highlight reels. We're going to have players interviews. You know, so it's not just going to be about the live streaming. So we're going to have a lot. So people can, if you miss a game, you can actually come and watch the game highlights. And the game highlights that you're watching is not going to be a game highlight from the phone.
Yeah.
It has to come out from a very good digital camera
yeah.
that you can actually see, just like the word.
You know?
So
yeah, I feel you, coach. You know, one story me and you remember we experienced when on our way back from the final 8. I'm sure you smile when you remember, when you hear the story.
Okay.
So you said something about perspective, how a mother
yeah.
wants to be at home watching her child.
Yeah.
So for me and you, we were in the bus on our way back to Ujah from Port Harcourt, and we're talking about one sport, analyzing all the games, who was the best player, this game, that game, this game. And then we heard somebody playing a game where you shouted, "That's a miracle shot," you know.
Yeah, the shot ever too,
you know,
against Kano.
So when we heard that record, you know, when we heard that playing, we all look back and we're like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "Yeah, I watched my brother Abel playing." And I was like, "What?" So this is the perspective you see. Yeah. I felt that was the time I realized.
Yeah.
I felt a joy inside of me.
Exactly.
And I realized how much of joy we have put
on the faces
of
Nigerian basketball.
With families, friends, club supporters, fans, and trust me, it was a nice one. So based on this, we want to move into the Final 4. Before we go into the Final 4, I want to play a game with you.
Okay.
Before the game started, I'm sure, you know, we had the whole hype. There was a bit of, it's going to be in December, it's going to be in November. Oh, that's fine. What team were you looking at? What team did you see becoming the winners?
Yeah, you actually know the answer to that question.
I'm asking you so the world can hear.
Are you sure you want me to do that here?
Okay.
Are you sure you want me to do that here?
I don't know.
Well, whoever is gonna believe should believe. But you can actually confirm to you that I actually told you who was going to win the league a long time before we went down. Even when we just met, because I had a feeling that because winning a three-peat in basketball is not easy. So basketball has patterns that people don't actually know. Many things in life have patterns. So winning a three-peat hasn't been easy. So I went back to history trying to check the teams that tried to have a three-peat. It wasn't that easy. I know. You know, in Nigerian basketball, you know, so River Hoopers were trying to do something that hasn't been done in a while. I know a team did it, right? Yeah, a team did it. I think Urban Comment or something, they did it. But it's been years ago. So Hoopers were trying to do that. And trying to do something like that is always very difficult. Yeah, so it's more like it's actually difficult. So when I knew that, and again, I looked at the teams that were playing, and I was like, so I knew the team that was going to come and be a problem for River Hoopers. So I had already seen it. Like, so I kind of like saw it in the vision that if there was going to be a third force, if there was going to be a third force, that third force would come in and nobody would really expect them, and then they would just sweep the feet of everybody. So that was what I told you. So, and I didn't even know that the owner of Marktown Flyers wanted to get a team. So I had already put that in order. So the moment I started having wind that he was going to get the team, that was the day that I remember the vision that I had, that there was going to be a new team winning the league. And I said, oh, so this is the team. Yeah. So that was why I now went ahead to tell you. I told a couple of friends, you know, that they should write it down, that at the end of the league, you know, they are going to say, hey, you're like a prophet, you're like this and that, because I was like, so that was how I knew that the new team, whatever new team that was coming was going to win. And then it happened to be a team that I used to work for. Yeah. It was just, I didn't know. It happened to be a team I used to work for. It happens to be a team I used to love, you know, because it's from where I'm from. Yeah. It's a team I cherish so much and every single thing. That was just the new team that came in. So I had known because of patterns, you know, winning three-peat is not easy. Yeah. Exactly. And a lot of things, you know, they're going to come in. People don't know what to expect. Everybody will be looking at them like, hey, they are just new, because there's another thing in the Nigerian league. They said no new team has ever won the league. So,
Mhm.
you know, winning a three-peat and being the first time to win, you know, those are like two. Those are like two. You know, you want to create history.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So, but I saw it that okay, the new team will kind of like come and nobody will expect something, and then they will just sweep everybody off their feet.
Well done, well done, well done.
Yeah.
You know, it's a nice one. I honestly am new in the basketball space, so I have no idea who these teams are. I heard people talking about Amayo. I heard people talking about because he played last year. You know,
Yeah, he was the MVP.
he was the MVP last year. You know, and this year I was hearing Patrick Abba. I know those. I do not know those guys from Adam. You know, but yeah, OneSport gave me the chance to be in Port Harcourt, met with these guys, and Chinga Garba, you know, and Tolani, the small but mighty, you know. So it was a nice outing. It was a nice game. Congratulations to the winners again, Lagos Legends, Marktown Flyers.
So when you were just saying something now, I was still smiling because that was the perspective that I was trying to find. You see, the reason why you can know the player's name was because you were always sitting close to me while I was calling their names.
That was where I was heading some. I don't know what you want to say, but I'm heading
exactly.
So
when I was you know running the commentary, obviously, that was part of the things I knew that people watching at home needed to know.
Yeah.
They needed to know that Tolani has the ball, you know. They needed to know that he passed it to Amayo or he passed it to a Chris Obepa or something like that. Because I just felt like that's what, if I'm watching, I want to hear. I want to know who has the ball. Even if the camera is very far, let me just know who has the ball. Let me know who scored.
Yeah.
You know,
so I wanted to say that. That's what I was about saying before we end this, before we get to the last part. One of the most interesting things for me, getting into live streaming basketball has been the commentary. Okay, so before you, I worked with Abayomi. Big shout out to Abayomi. I worked with Ariola. Big shout out to Ariola. I also worked with gosh, forgive me, F something. Forgive me, Baba. I greet you. You know, these guys were awesome. Trust me, they did a great job in Lagos, giving us the commentary. I enjoyed listening to them, like sitting by their side as usual. You know, and then for the Final Four, for the men's league, this was I worked with them in the women's league. And then for the men's league, I worked with you, sitting close to me, and trust me, there was one thing that I took home till today, and it is the simple statement. Tolani set, sit, shoot, connect. What inspired you to come up with that lovely term?
I actually had to go back myself to check. I think I did that. I had to go back and check. Maybe yesterday I was like, connect. Who says connect? And funny enough, it has been my Brian of the NBA. He's been calling the NBA finals for some time. So I checked because I told you I've watched like 25 NBA finals. Like I haven't missed an NBA finals in like 25 years. Yeah. So I used to watch a lot. There were times when my friends who were going to be watching knew that I used to take TV from my house to take it to actually the coach of Marktown Fly, Lagos legend, Michael Ekima. I had to take a TV from my house to his house, you know, because I had this big screen, you know, just because we wanted to have everybody come and watch the NBA final. Wow. So I used to listen to the guys running commentary a lot, and I watched a lot of the NBA. So it was not something that was actually planned. I won't lie to you. It was never planned. It was just because of the fact that I've watched it so much, and this is how they talk. So when I had the microphone, you know, to announce the game, I was just calling it how I've been hearing it all my life. Wow. So the word connect just kind of like just sank in. So when I went back to now go and check, they said every commentator, every announcer have words that it stays with them. It's so everybody knows. So meanwhile, Mike Bryant, I used to say connect, right, has his word as bang. Like if somebody scores a 3, especially when it's crunch time, you know, like when the game is under 5 minutes, you know, when it's tough, if you score a 3, he will say bang. While my own just was connect. You know?
Appreciate it, man. I appreciated it. Something big is about to happen. Something big is about to end the year. And it's no other championship than the damn championship. And we've announced it to you all during the Final Four that this championship is one that is carrying a lot of weight. Kator, you've been in the discussions with the organizers. I want you to quickly give us a brief, what we need to know, everything we need to know in 5 minutes about the Dam Championship.
Yeah.
So the Dam Championship.
Yeah, Dam, Dr. Abdullahi Mustafa.
Foundation.
Yeah, he is the chairman of Dam Foundation, so they will be hosting a Dam Championship in December. So when we were there, I had people calling me to tell me about the championship, and then when I got the message, actually I didn't get the message complete because as at then we announced that the winner was going to go home with 10 million.
Yeah.
But when I met him, he was like, "Hey, who asked you to announce that?" Actually, he's putting $15,000 on the line. Exactly for whoever he wants to raise the bar, so that players who have been playing not really going home with anything. We have a chance to actually, they play basketball and then they can actually get something from it. So Kenny, he also see how he can combine basketball with entertainment.
Yeah.
So he's going to be bringing a lot of artists. Like Ice Prince was there last year. This is actually a third edition. So Ice Prince was there last year. Then they're also going to be bringing the video this year, which everybody doesn't believe, but they're going to say it. He's also going to be bringing Odumodu Black, and Cubana Chief Priest is also going to be there with a lot of other artists that Cubana Chief Priest will draw a lot of people down with. They're going to be comedians, local artists will be given opportunity to perform. So when I spoke to him, these were the things that he actually told me. So that is what Dam is going to do. So Dr. Abdullahi Mustafa uses his foundation to see how he can give back, help a lot of people. Now basketball player, because he plays basketball, he loves basketball.
Yeah,
he comes to Marina, where we are to play basketball. So he wants to see how he can help players, and then he also extends. When I was talking just off what he does basketball, he helps to elevate poverty. Like he's just like helping people. That's the kind of person he is. And I'm so happy that personally he's coming to see how he can help players playing the game I love.
Well done. Thank you very much, Coach Kator. A special shout out to Dr. Abdullahi Mustafa, the Dam Foundation, and for coming up with organizing the Dam Championship. He's someone I know personally, and I look forward to seeing him in person. And when we get to see, maybe history will play itself. But prior to that, or depending when that happens, onesport is going to give you all everything you need. And as you used to say, giving you the actions,
bringing the action closer to you.
So we will be bringing the actions closer to you. Stay with us. This is the episode 1 of this podcast. We are looking forward to continue this podcast. Have players, coaches, club owners.
Yeah, we're going to be bringing a lot of people to the show.
A lot of people.
This is just a start. This
is the warm-up. So take this from us. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. OneSport TV, bringing you all the actions closer to you. And I see you on the next one. Peace.